Look at that. It's a design I just made, kind of a starter logo for my company, which today received its papers of filing for becoming an LLC in the state of Texas, which is fantastic. It's the beginning of some things I'm going to start doing with my business to try and change how I've been doing business to protect myself more and to hopefully grow the business into other areas of things that I really want to accomplish. I'm really thinking about starting a nonprofit as well for Access Today. I think I'm going to go that route. But first, there's a puppy. There's a bear. They just got their appointments for Simba. There's Simba right there. Hey, baby lion, laying by my daddy like he likes to do. Now, Bear has a ball, and Bear wants to play with that ball. And he wants you to chase him for said ball. Correct, Bear? Is that right? Is that right, Bear? You want people to... He's so handsome. He's so sweet. He's like, I cannot give you the ball. It is not allowed. You have to chase me for it. And there's a butt. There's a bear butt with a big old waggly bear tail. Oh, God, they're so beautiful. Such beautiful little angels. Are you going to say hi there, or are you just going to run over the ball? He's like, I'm just going to run over the ball, Daddy, and you have to chase me. If you don't chase me, you can't have it. You have to earn it. You have to earn it, Daddy. You have to earn it. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. He's so happy. He just loves to play. He's such a baby. I love him so much. You're such a good boy. You and your brother. Somebody's like, don't forget me, Daddy. I'll never forget you, Angel. I'll never forget you. You'll always be my beautiful little angel. So they have their appointments for the 13th, actually, which I don't know if it's irony or coincidental or whatever, but I actually, on the 23rd of February, I have to go and see the sleep doctor for the first time. So they go get their animals done on the 13th, and I go on the 23rd and hopefully start a process to start resolving some of my issues with my sleep disorder. I've listened to a couple of these videos, or watched a couple of them, but listening is where I've been able to tell that you can really hear, like, in my breathing, how, like, there's some major congestion, and I don't know if it's just purely allergies and I just can't get all that crud cleared out of my head, or if there's just something really severely wrong with my septum and the way it's aligned, or if it has to do with weight. I don't know all the dynamics. I mean, I'm sure weight has a part to play with it. I'm sure allergies have some kind of part to play with it. But I am feeling it so, like, it's just ridiculous what's going on in my skull as far as, like, me being able to rest. I can't fall asleep. I do fall asleep these, at inopportune times because I'm tired. I find myself not being able to sleep soundly for long periods of time. And as a result of it, I fall asleep at different times during the day when I'm trying to do things, and it's completely unhelpful and completely, I don't think there's a word such as demotivating, but it's discouraging is probably the better choice of words here, since that's actually a word. It's incredibly discouraging. So I was really glad about the LLC getting accomplished today, getting the paperwork to begin that process, because I have some papers I have to file with another state to hopefully become a vendor and provide adaptive technology training to someone over there. So I hope I can get that paperwork done and sent over to them and hopefully become a vendor of the state of California and provide assistive technology training, because that would be fantastic, and they need it, and I'm happy to do it, and whoop-woo. So let's see how that all starts and plays out. Packing was pretty much a bust today. I'm going to do some after we get off this video here. It is actually past midnight into February 1st by Central Time, but it's still, as the old song goes, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Well, it's still January 31st somewhere. So, the West Coast. So I'm going to stick with that for now. But anyways, yeah, so a lot of things mounting up and getting ready. I know my roommate, she just transferred over or prepared the paperwork to transfer us over electricity and gas, which are under her name, to the new place. It's 30 days from today, February 1st, 30 days before the move. We have 28 in February, 2 days in March, and then the official move. So we have to get out of, close out our current insurance, apply for this new insurance. The dogs have to get taken care of, make sure, that's just for safety and health. By the way, if you are not aware of this, and you're watching this, if you have a dog that's over 8 years old, according to what I've been learning from the folks at the pet hospital or clinic that takes care of them now, apparently that's when they're considered geriatric, which means that they're, senior citizens by those standards. And I guess you can think of it that way because I guess once you're, 8 years old, I think it's 7 for dog years. So it's basically the equivalent of being 72 years old. So mine are now, no, that's 56 years old. Excuse me. Math is not wanting to be my friend today, but I'm good at math. But not today, apparently. So, my dogs are actually 63 because they're 9 years old, but they'll be 70 within the next. Well, let's see. We're moving into February now. Amadeus was born in September, so God, moves fast. Time moves fast. Time goes by. I love you, my angels. I love you so much. So let's see. There's some things in this day in history that I looked at. So in 1606, I think his name was Guy Fawkes, was executed, and he was executed for being one of the conspirators who wanted to use, I guess, gunpowder to help blow up Parliament and kill King James I, because of his restrictions on Roman Catholics. And so I guess he figured, send them to hell. I guess that was the theory. I'll send you to hell, and then you won't be able to stop the Catholics from Roman Catholics from speaking their mind or living their religious beliefs. Now he was a conspirator, so with a certain group of people. So I don't think that speaks for all Roman Catholics. I think that's just a comment on someone who was an extremist, and usually extremists are not necessarily as devout to a faith that they claim to be. But I don't know anything about him other than that he was executed on this day in history. So kind of an interesting one, which I'm pretty sure he played this. Computer, who played Jackie Robinson in 42? I think that's Chadwick Boseman. Yeah. So I thought that's who it was. Now, everybody probably mostly knows Chadwick Boseman from going on to play Black Panther before his unfortunate death. But before that, a movie I actually saw in the theaters years ago. Computer, when was the film 42 released?
The film 42 was released on April 12, 2013.
So, God, it's been almost 10 years. And it's probably one of the last films I saw in theaters. But Chadwick Boseman played Jackie Robinson in the film 42, and he was great in that role. By the way, he did a very, 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 very good job. God rest his soul. He died very, very young. Now, Jackie Robinson actually died very young, too. So Jackie Robinson was born on this day in 1919, and then he passed away in 72. He was 53. He died on the 24th of October, as I recall, reading it. And so he died just shy of his 54th birthday, which is very, very sad. It's very, very sad, isn't it? That's very, very sad, isn't it, Bear? Yes, it is, isn't it? So, Bear's trying to get me to chase him for that ball. He's trying to get me to chase him for the ball. Bear, if I can get the ball, I'll throw it for you. Can I have it? You've got to chase me for it, Daddy. I'm sorry, Bear. Let me finish this and I'll chase you for the ball. You want me to chase you for the ball? Let me see it. Get it? Get it? Good, he got the ball. Because sometimes I throw and it sucks really bad. So, so that was Chadwick Boseman died, I think, very young too. Computer, how old was Chadwick Boseman when he died?
Chadwick Boseman died at 43 years old in
43.
2020 in Los Angeles, California.
He was even younger.
His cause of death was colon cancer.
Oh, he had colon cancer. That's really unfortunate. Sorry, I was trying to make sure we're still recording. So, both Jackie Robinson and Chadwick Boseman had very early deaths. Computer, what did Jackie Robinson die from? Computer, what did Jackie Robinson die from?
Jackie Robinson died on October 24th, 1972 at the age of 53 due to heart disease.
Oh, he had heart disease. Yeah, a silent killer. A very talented ball player and had a really interesting story. His life story was very interesting. So there's some other notable events in history. Probably not as notable to me as that one, Jackie Robinson. I actually really loved. I'll mention it now just because I can do whatever I want. I mean, I do whatever I want. My video. There's no producers behind me. See? So there's actually another movie that's called 61, which is about the home run race of 1961 between Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris. And Mantle was the darling of the audiences, and he was kind of the old country boy, Oklahoma boy, kind of really well known. He was on the Yankees, and he was really well known ball player. He was quite a womanizer, and he wasn't a role model in that extent, but he was definitely a hell of a ball player. And then there's Roger Maris, and Roger Maris was a family man. He was kind of though curt, and he didn't like talking to a lot of people. He was just kind of to himself and to his family. He really didn't want to get too much involved with all the glitz and the the BS that went along with the media and stuff. He just wanted to play ball. Apparently, he was very much like that. And so, this was one of those things where Babe Ruth held the record up to this point, and they did not want Maris to be the one to break it. Mantle, they didn't have as much of a problem with, but apparently Maris, because of the way they saw him, they thought, we don't want this guy to be the one who's known as breaking the Babe's record. So that was when they started trying to do the asterisk by the number, because it would signify that something had changed in the way the numbers were counted and the number of games in an inning, right? So the Ruth did it, I think, in, can't remember how many games he did it in, but I know it was fewer than what Maris ended up doing it in. And they did finally give it to Maris, but he had that 61 with the asterisk next to him, and it was kind of an insult because it was like, yes, the games had changed in those times, and there were more games, but the Ruth didn't travel as much as the Yankees did in 61. Ruth didn't travel in his time. He didn't travel as much. It wasn't as intense. They weren't as away from their families as much. It was more stressful. There was more media coverage than there was in 61. Than there was back when Ruth broke the record. Computer, when did Babe Ruth set the home run record?
From NJ.com, New York Yankees single season home run record with 60 in 1927.
1927. So literally, what is that? 34 years before Roger Maris came along, and he did 60. Now that's impressive, but there were other things that were a factor in that had changed for the negative and for more stress by the time he got to 61, which made it a little bit harder for Maris to do it, but he still did it. And Mantle was close. It wasn't like Mantle wasn't in the race. It's just that Mantle got sick. He had, I think he had a severe hip injury that kind of turned into a major infection, and he had to go on the shelf. But anyways, it was a great movie, and I kind of went into that movie. It was directed by Billy Crystal, by the way, who's a fantastic actor and director. But I mentioned that because really that movie 61 was the one that got me interested in movies about baseball. And then when 42 came out, which reminded me because it was a number that was by the way, Jackie's number was 42. That's why I wanted to see it. And was not disappointed because Chadwick Boseman was fantastic in that role. So anyways, moving on from that. Packing didn't get as much done today, but there's the bear. There's the bear. Bear, where's your pawpaw? Bear, where's your pawpaw? Where's your pawpaw? Where's your pawpaw? Okay. Such a baby, I love you. Love you, Simba. Simba. I love you special. I love you special. They're the best gifts in the world. Best gifts in the world, along with my mom and my brother and Miss Marie and a number of people I know. Greatest gifts in the world. Life is so precious. So fleeting. Well, all we are is dust in the wind, right? Love you so much. All right, I think that's it for today. God bless you. I hope you're doing well. You're doing good things for yourself. Big props to us over here as we get prepared for Achieve Global USA, or LLC. Achieve Global LLC. I'm on my way. If I can make it there, then I can make it anywhere. It's up to you. Achieve. Da-da-da. And that is all I got to say about that. Okay.